What's up, guys? Zeenigami here, and let's go through Young Whitebeard event. The Young Whitebeard event is a permanent event. It's gonna be around, and he will show up at the end of any raid boss at all. The higher the difficulty, the higher the chance of him showing up. The lower difficulty, the lower the chance. 30 stamina has a very low chance of him showing up, but it does work. 40 stamina, for example, we just beat 40 stamina Mihawk, and I'd estimate that to be somewhere between a 5 and 10% chance, and then 60 staminas have around a 20% chance, and that's just so far just the community spitballing numbers on what they've seen and how often he shows up. So when you get Whitebeard, you have to fight him using the exact same team that you just fought. It doesn't cost you any stamina. It's just as soon as you fight, you get the rewards from the island and you're given an option. Do you want to fight Whitebeard? And if you say yes, you're immediately put into his fight. It's a brand new fight. You start all over, just as if you start a brand new island on any stage in One Piece Treasure Cruise. So you are going to have to use a team that not only beats whatever island you're fighting, whatever raid boss you're fighting, but it will also beat Whitebeard. So that's going to be the real tricks. So if you can find something that beats the 60 stamina boss and can beat Whitebeard, you want to use that to farm the boss. Otherwise, maybe you go for a lower difficulty fight or wait until one of the 40 staminas. For example, I was using this Barto team because it worked to kill Mihawk, but I couldn't use it yesterday because this one could not take out Kuma. So on round 2, here's one of the first places we're going to be stalling a lot. You can either stall in round 2 or round 3, depending on your team. And with a double Bartolomeo team, the best thing about Bartolomeo captains is if you don't attack with them, they reduce your damage taken by half for that turn. So I'm going to skip my attacks on the Cannoneer. You'll either get the Cannoneer guy to have a 5-hit great barrier or a 5-hit perfect barrier. That means Long Luffy teams are going to have a very bad time, because you're going to either have to stall out 50 turns until that barrier goes away, or you're just going to die. No way Long Luffy actually has the damage to kill him by hitting all your perfects or all your greats. But Bartolomeo team can. I can also stall on stage 3 because the Giants, or depending on what characters you get on stage 3, they'll also attack for about 15,000. Slightly less on this stage. And it's going to be attacking and looking for food and using our Bartolomeo captain abilities to reduce damage taken. Now, my Diamante special is going to be 1 turn off what I want it to be on stage 4. Stage 4 is another very tricky one because everyone in stage 4 has 10 hit points and they have 100,000 defense. So you can't use Thousand Sunny to kill it. You're going to have to use either someone who stalls them, so that way you can take your time killing them and buy yourself a little extra time to get your cooldowns ready. Or you're going to have to use poison or exact damage. For example, using a Vista or using your Caesar special ability to poison everyone and kill everyone with that. And on stage 3, important to note that if you get the red giants on stage 3, getting them below 20% health will not mean that they attack. The red giants on stage 3 below 20% health will just attack as usual. They will not stall themselves. So here I get a 4 cooldown character, which is not quite enough. I am going to be able to heal up, take a hit from the turn 4 character, but my Diamante will not be ready for stage 4. And on stage 4, it will be 6 characters, and they will each attack for about 5,555 damage on stage 4. But let's talk about Whitebeard. Whitebeard has 4.92 million hit points. He will preemptively prevent himself from getting debuffs for 12 turns, and he'll attack for the first 2 turns for 22,900 damage. At the end of that second turn, he'll buff his own attack up to 28,625, and then he will attack every other turn instead from now on. So if you can survive the first 2 turns, after that you can have every 2 turns to take hits. But on turn 4, he will also despair your captain for 5 turns. Now this is something cute about this island. You can actually use a Corazon Pell team or any zombie team, really. You need someone to get rid of despair, so you'll have to be able to get rid of despair either with Corazon special or with, for example, an Ein on the team. But a zombie team can actually beat Young Whitebeard because stage 1, you got a lot of time to stall. You're going to need Golden Pound Usopp and Anti-Despair, of course. Golden Pound Usopp, you wait on turn 1 until you get him ready. then use his special on turn 3, and then use his special again on turn 4. And once you're at Whitebeard, you got it. You just have to make sure you don't get killed, because Whitebeard won't kill a zombie team as long as you can heal back up. Important to note, though, that once you get him below 50%, he does attack for 50,000 damage, and below 20%, he attacks for 500,000 damage. So using a zombie team with Streaming Wolf Zoro or Strongworld Sanji or something like that might not be ideal. So on this stage, my Diamante, like I said, was 1 turn off. And because I was 1 turn off, all these characters will lock 1 random character for 5 turns. With level 3 anti-lock, I only get 2 turn locked. Unfortunately, they all decided to lock my Aokiji. I was only concerned about them not locking my Diamante, but having everyone lock my Aokiji is not the best. Not the best. But since my Diamante was not locked, I get to use his special ability to buy me some time. And since my Bartolomeo captains aren't locked, I do get to take advantage of their damage reduction abilities. I'm going to just attack here looking for food, and then take some attacks in order to wait for my Bartolomeo or my Aokiji lock to go away. But man, that 6 turn lock on this run kinda hurt a lot, but it's okay. It's gonna turn out just fine. There's a reason we're uploading this video, is there not? Going back to what Whitebeard does, on turn 3, Whitebeard will shuffle all your orbs at the start of your turn, which means you can reset that shuffle. So you'll see me on turn 3, we will reset what Whitebeard shuffles our orbs to. If you don't know what resetting is, that means we are going to exit out the stage before we attack, and then we're going to come back into the stage, say yes, we'd like to continue, and then Whitebeard will redo his shuffle ability, and we're going to hope for something better. Here we go, we're into Whitebeard now. He doesn't have a preemptive health cut like Whitebeard normally does, or older Whitebeard does. He's just going to boost, or he's going to prevent debuffs for 12 turns. So if you somehow live past 12 turns, you could debuff him then. Bartolomeo Captain, great thing about him is his prevent yourself from dying ability, and that's what's going to save us a lot here. Gonna use the Whitebeard ship, although if you have good orbs and you don't have your Aokiji lock, you will not need the Whitebeard ship with this team. You can use a Aokiji striker ship or Whitebeard ship or whatever you like to use, at the regular Whitebeard ship or anything else you like to use. And just not having your Aokiji locked and having your Diamante special ready for stage 4 is going to be a really big key if you're going to use this exact same team that I'm using right here. So that is Whitebeard's 50,000 damage attack. Cannot die because of Bartolomeo, and Whitebeard's burning ship will not kill you even if you're at 1 health, so no worries about that. Not going to use Aokiji special because I don't need to lock my own orbs, although I could have used it here since I forgot that he's going to shuffle our orbs anyway, so I could have gotten a little bit of extra damage if I used Aokiji special here and then saved Don Chinjiao's special for next turn. So exiting out to see what orbs we get. And that is out Whitebeard Shuffle. Before that, we didn't know Whitebeard Shuffle was at the start of the stage, so with a little bit of testing, we did find out we can start just move these orbs around. So this turn, if you're going to burst on Young Whitebeard and you can survive several turns, this is the best one. One character that's really good for Young Whitebeard is Inazuma. Inazuma with the 97% damage reduction for above 5,000 damage for 3 turns means that even his 50,000 damage attack only damages you for about 6,000, 7,000 damage, and then all his regular attacks only deal about 5,000 and change. So Inazuma, you can use Inazuma on turn 2 to basically prevent most of the damage from that turn 2 attack and the turn 4 attack, or use him on turn 1 to take the turn 1 and turn 2. But Inazuma's someone who's very nice against Young Whitebeard. So here, after coming into the game, Whitebeard shuffles us, happens to give us some very beautiful orbs. Thank you, Young Whitebeard. Using the Don Chinjiao boost to boost our orbs by 1.75, using the Aokiji to boost our attack by 1.75 as well. And attacking with everyone brings down Young Whitebeard. No problemo. Guys, I'm Zeenigami. Oh, you know what? What does Young Whitebeard do, right? So Young Whitebeard's special ability has 3 stages. The third stage is a 36 turn cooldown, a very, very long cooldown, but that third stage is a 40% health cut, the biggest health cut in the game. So 40%. Just like Mihawk, just like regular Whitebeard, but it's a huge one. If you use it at stage 1, it's only a 10%. If you use it at stage 2, it's a 20%. Even at 20%, health cut is pretty darn good. He's got amazing stats, the newest, highest stats in the game, 1,570 attack. And his captain ability is below 50% health. You get 2.5 times attack boost to all characters, which is actually really, really easy to get and a pretty darn solid captain ability. So Young Whitebeard, absolutely amazing. We're going to try. There are a few free-to-play teams that I've seen working out with him. Like I said, you could use a zombie team. A zombie team is a absolutely free-to-play way you can do it. You can do it with a Laboon, Corazon front zombie team. But the hard part with that is you gotta farm a 40 stamina fight or a 60 stamina fight with a zombie team and do that maybe like a dozen times before you get to see Young Whitebeard, which is going to take a lot of time. But there are some teams that work out that are free to play. We're going to try to find some for you guys so we can have them out there. I'm going to try to, hopefully, especially on other raid bosses when I get more time at them. And if we get lucky, we can fight them and I can put those videos up too. I'm Zeenigami, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this and y'all stay beautiful.